today. From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
First and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game and you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely. So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. It's first and 10 from the 12. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. Now Kelly. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Joshua Kelly with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Roethlisberger. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Oh, the return is Scott. Shedding through the defense. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Yeah, the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. On the run, it's Kelly. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to pop that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 14 on that one, and a 1st down.
Making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Panthers will get the football back. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Max Crosby. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line.
First and 10.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 37. He sets to fire deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A huge play there for Chicago. 41 yards.
And that's where it pays to throw to one of the tallest receivers in the game, because you know he can out-jump virtually anyone in the NFL. And don't think for a second his quarterback doesn't understand that. He can put the ball in places that only he would have a chance to go and get it. Old High Pockets himself makes that play.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll roll him out right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give him 18 yards on that one. And it'll move the chains. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DJ Moore with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, Mike Davis. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger once more. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer defense.
Are you kidding me?
Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with second down coming up. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Scott to return it. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Good yardage there for first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second down now, it's Kellen. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Pickup is 6. Brings up 2nd and
from the gun. It's a give to Chubb. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
A lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Kelly. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And now running right through him. And he will have the Bears first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman of the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And down inside the 15 he goes. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Bit of a surprise they ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. They'll give it to Chubb. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Nick Chubb, as the first half is winding down, and the Bears will extend their lead. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove. They're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. It's the rookie linebacker, Patrick Queen. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
At the 28-yard line.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the route is on. It's 24-0. And that one will go down in the books as just a 1-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock.
Now a hit and a loose football. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And this is picked up by the Bears. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And this one getting ugly early. A 17-point game at the half. The Jags seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will make it into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
They're on 21-yard line.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. The lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. That's the rookie from LSU, Grant Delpit. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They run with it. It's Kelly. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Joshua Kelly with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Roethlisberger. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Lets it fly for Thielen, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
This is taken at the 15, pushing through the contact. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. Yeah, he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 49 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense is running away with this one. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and less than a yard.
Davis, he'll try to run for it.
That's good for a Carolina Panther.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the ball.
Davis fighting. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Boston Scott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give it 19.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And we're back now in Charlotte. The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10, trying to lay one up deep, and that is incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted, still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On the carry is Kelly. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Joshua Kelly, ball carrier. The tackle by Jeremy Chin.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Chubb on the counter. Jeremy Chin there defensively.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
A gain of 11.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Seibert on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Roethlisberger will throw. Pass incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Fielded at about the 28. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over first and 10. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Tackle made by K1 Short. The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. They'll go again with Kelly. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And this is caught at the 8. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
33-yard line.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie, Jalen Johnson. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, He was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And incredibly short. Now a hit and a loose football.
Recovered by the receiving team.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, and it's 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. That's the rookie from LSU, Grant Delpit. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bears, they remain as hot as anyone. 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Tonight, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. Los Angeles Rams taking on the Chicago Bears.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we close out Week 7 with a good Monday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
The Rams ready to take over on offense, and they will do so behind the first overall pick in the 2016 draft. Now he's in season number 5 out of Cal. It's Jared Goff.
Well, it's not unusual for a team to have a little bit of a letdown after appearing in the Super Bowl. And the Rams had that Super Bowl letdown after their loss in Super Bowl 53 to New England. But it might surprise people that quarterback Jared Goff still finished 3rd in the NFL in passing yards at better than 4,600. They just want to see him cut down on the number of interceptions he threw last year, and they think the Rams can elevate their offense yet again.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
31-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up
from the gun. Here's Goff. Looking sideline, incomplete.
to the sideline.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Goff. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Flush to his right. Again, he targets Moore. This one is complete. Touchdown, Chicago! DJ Moore, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A shotgun snap for Goff. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At the 36-yard line.
Here's Akers. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
Back to throw. Gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Good job.
Jared Goff sacked.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Tackle made at his
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Kelly, the ball carrier.
The numbers for Kelly a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year as the Bears push further out in front.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Seibert on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
LA set to take over again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On the return is Scott. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Bears take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 19 yards there on the pickup. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football. Just
got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 49 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open it up to even more big plays.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
LA readies for its next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you can see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Mo Alley Cox, his tight end, and it's third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Mo Alley Cox with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it'll bring up third down.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
Now it's gone. And now another one thrown incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Fights through him. Fights him off. A good return there. 17 yards.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
The Bears now ready to take over again. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right.
That's caught inside the 20. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 58 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with the defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this offense continues to pour it on.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
That's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. So possession goes over here on the punt.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Tackle made at his 48-yard line.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football. But I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and actually tamps down a defense's pressure, because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a man open down the middle of the field. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Scampering home from 19 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because When he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line.
Holding. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears add on.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And his kick is right through. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Scott to return it. We have hit halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He's going to look deep for more. It's caught inside the 25. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to. But a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been fourth down.
Exactly.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
He was going right back to Cooper Kupp, but now it's third down. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the... That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 65 yards. And the Bears continue to pour it on. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And it's up and good. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
at the 23-yard line.
Going right back to Akers. And he'll be taken down right around the 27.
Ball carrier.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
A very solid gain of 27. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And this offense is running away with this one. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Goff. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be taken at the 10. 21 yards. Well done on the return.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. at their own 31-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Completion here to Claypool. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Do it! Chase Claypool with touchdown number 12 on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
L.A. set to take over again on offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. This is brought in at the 21. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return.
The Bears take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
That's the end.
Back now here on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
A gain of 3 on the play.
Now Kelly. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And let me tell you, that wasn't as easy as it looked. Dancing away and moving forward for 6 yards.
Pick up the 6.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Bears on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll give it to Chubb, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
L.A. readies for its next possession. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And just bowling over tacklers. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The tackle made by L.J. Ford.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
2nd and 10. Goff again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Jared Goff sacked.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Here's Goff. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. Powering his way forward. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And again, it's Chubb. He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
Bears 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run with it. It's Kelly. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Chicago, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for L.A., the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami.